Well, this is our last example of using a pie chart. An ice cream company asked 150 kids about their favorite ice cream. The following frequency table shows their findings. So that's this table right here. Extend this frequency table to include the percentages or relative frequencies as well as the angle of each of the pieces of pie. So in doing this, to get the angle, we're going to need to remember that a circle has how many degrees? 360. Remember, you could almost think of it like a clock. Oops, that's not a very good clock. But if you are going clockwise and you go that far, you've gone 180 degrees. And if you go all the way, you go to 90 degrees. Each one of these quarters would be 90 degrees. Okay. Finally, then we'll draw a pie chart that summarizes this data. So the first thing I need to know, and I hope it comes out to be a nice number, I have to, oh, it does. Good, 150. All of these numbers, let me verify that. 93, 103, 111, 135, 150. Okay, so 150 is what they add up to. So vanilla, 60 of the 150 favored them. Chocolate is 33, strawberry, 18 of the children, peach, 24, and then other flavors would have been 15 of the children. So let's extend this to be, this is the frequency here. 60 chose vanilla. Let's do the relative frequency here. So it would be 60 over 150, 33 over 150, 18 over or out of 150, 24 over 150, 15 over 150. Now I'm going to use those fractions. You can plug them into your calculator and then come up with the relative frequency as a percentage. So 60 over 150 is 40%. That's the largest, as we can see. 33 divided by 150 is 22%. 18 divided by 150 is 12%. 24 divided by 150 is 16%. And lastly, that one's easy. 15 over 150 is like 1 over 10, dividing them both by 15, top and bottom, and you get 10%. All right, now let's continue this table. We need to know the angles. So, how do I get the angle? The angle for each piece of pie. And you know what angle we're talking about. Like, for example, the angle for this piece is 90 degrees. All right, so the angle is basically going to be taking the relative frequency times, that's my times, that asterisk, times relative frequency times 360. That'll give us the number of degrees for each one. So for vanilla, it's 40%. That's 0.4 and then times 360. That is 144 degrees. Just take this number, which is 0.4, and multiply it by 360. The next one is 22%. 0.22 times 360. Ooh, 79.2. We're certainly not going to get that accurate, but we'll just approximate. 12%, 0.12 times 360. So that is 43.2 degrees. 16%, 0.16 times 360. That's a 57.6 degrees. And then finally, 10%, I know 10% of 360 is 36 degrees. Okay. All right, so now we're done with all of the data. Now all we need to do is draw the pie chart that summarizes this data. So I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger this time. Let me go outward a little bit. All right, so I'm going to draw the pie chart right down here. Forgive me, that's not a great circle, but I'll put the center right there. On an exam, I'll give you the circle, so at least that much of it will be good. And then you just do your best estimating these angles. So let's go ahead and draw that. All right, so 360 degrees. So if I drew this all the way down, this would be 180 degrees. If I drew this quarter, this right angle here with only a quarter of it, it would be 90 degrees. So I'm trying to estimate, let's see, does anything, I don't see any good numbers we can add together. Let's do 144. Oops, 144 degrees. If that's 90 and that's 180, I think 145 would be pretty close to this right here. Kind of in between a 90 degree and a 180 degree. All right, so let's go ahead and write, I don't want to write the angle, I'm going to write the percentage. This is 40%, and what does it represent? Vanilla. 40%. All right, so now let's look at chocolate. Chocolate was 79. That's really close to 80 degrees. All right, so what I'm going to do is go on this side. Let's put it right here. 90 degrees would be putting a horizontal line segment going this way. That'd be 90 away from here. So let's do a little bit less than that to make it 80. All right, so we'll call that one chocolate. And 79.2, not what I wanted. I didn't want the angle. I wanted 22%. So when we're done with this, all the percentages will add up to 100%. Okay, strawberry. Strawberry is 43 degrees, 43.2. 43. It's going to be less than twice the size of this one. So let's just do something like, let's say 43, maybe that. That's off. I didn't make it quite as big compared to this guy. And actually, let's see, this is strawberry, and it's, oh yeah, I really messed that up. I made chocolate way too big, didn't I? Chocolate should have been, let's see, no, that's close to 90 degrees. Yeah, I guess that's reasonable. This should be almost twice the size of chocolate, though. So strawberry is 43.2%. Strawberry. 43.2%. And that isn't too bad. Remember, well, it's a little bit small. If it were 45%, then this should be 1/4 of the circle. So we made it a little bit less than 1/4. So not terrible. Okay, we only have two more to do, 57 and 36. So 57 is obviously greater than 36. We're not going to get too precise here. Let's just do it like that. and we'll say that this is the 57.6 16% and 10%. And the 16% was for peach, and the 10% was for other. Okay, so I apologize for my scribbling out. But once again, just like this will add up to 100%, and this would add up to 360 degrees, if you add up all of the percentages in here, you're going to add up to 100%. Just as if you added up all these angles, you'd get 360 degrees. So mine's a little bit messy, I apologize for that. And just remember, once again, on an exam, I'll give you a nice clean circle, and then you just do your best job to approximate these. So remember what I set up here. Half of a circle is 180 degrees. If you take half of a half, like this right here, that's a quarter of a circle, that's 90 degrees. And just do your best. And I consider this to be very reasonably done. So my standards aren't too high.